Welcome back to another Zombies discussion video. Very quickly, I am going to say if you do enjoy Zombies discussion content like this, go ahead and drop a like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out and it helps me keep pumping videos out for you guys. Anyways, I'm not going to ramble on too long about that. I wanted to go over today a map that I do believe I have some very interesting opinions on. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. So, we are going to be talking about the Shattered Vale. Obviously, you already clicked on this video, you already know what I'm talking about. But this is the map that I'm going to be covering. But with this map, I have a few points. Today, we're going to be going over some key factors. I'm going to break it down into the Easter egg, the story, the map layout, the wonder weapons, and the aesthetic of the map. A lot of those can be chalked up to gameplay, but I wanted to kind of get a little more in depth, and we're going to talk about it. So, coming into the Shattered Vale, we kind of needed something big. We needed something big coming off the tomb because the community was not very happy with the tomb whatsoever. You know, that map let a lot of people down. I actually don't think the tomb is a awful map. I think it's okay. It's nothing amazing, but I think it's a little better than what people give it credit for. But let's go ahead and jump into the first point, the Easter egg. This map's main Easter egg quest is very okay. It is severely held back by another point we are going to be getting into at the end. But if we're talking about just the Easter egg, this map actually does have some pretty cool steps, like the light reflection step. The Simon Says is kind of neat with the lamps. There is also where you jump into the paintings is pretty neat. There's some cool steps here. There really is. The boss fight is actually a little overrated in my opinion. I know the T-Rex is pretty cool, but it's very, I don't know. I went back and played it again, and it honestly just was not as good as I remember. Maybe that's just a me thing. Maybe I'm weird. I don't know. Y'all let me know. But as far as the whole Easter egg itself goes, I am going to be giving it a 6 out of 10, only because, honestly, the Easter egg is not too bad. Only because there is, like I said, there's one thing that really, really holds it back. We'll get into that point in just a minute. But next, I do want to talk about the story. So, if we're talking about the story, this map honestly was probably the highest point of the Black Ops 6 story. Getting to see Richtofen, teaming up with Richtofen at the end is pretty neat. I did really like that. I thought that was pretty cool. And it kind of gave the community a fresh, new, some fresh air after a while. So I thought that was pretty cool. I did really enjoy that a lot. But the story was okay. For a game that had a pretty lackluster story, there wasn't too much to complain about with Shattered Vale. So I thought story pretty neat. Okay, cool. Next point is exactly why I think that this map is severely held back. And that is the map layout. So I'm giving this map layout a 2 out of 10. You guys might think I'm crazy. You guys might think that's too harsh. I don't know. But I do not like this map layout. I think it's abysmal. It's so spread out. It's insanely spread out. I mean, if you look at the beginning of the map where you are in spawn versus whenever you are in, kind of towards the end of the map, getting to the actual bottom bunker, that is such a long run. And yes, there is the fast travel. I know that, but there needs to be more than one fast travel just from one end of the map to the other. Because even all the way in between, it's a big map. And that mansion is kind of confusing for the first few times that you play it. I know there's a lot of maps like that, but this map just really does not, it doesn't make it worth it. You know what I mean? Like, there's not enough redeeming factors here for me to want to learn this map. But anyways, map layout 2 out of 10. Let's talk about the wonder weapons next. So obviously there are a couple new variants of the Mark II, but it is very reminiscent to Alpha Omega in that sense too. So you guys be the judge of that. Reused assets. You do also get the WAF here, which is kind of neat. I do actually really like the WAF on this map. I think it's really fun to use. The Mark II variants are okay, but I don't think they're anything too special. Nothing crazy to write home about. But as far as the wonder weapons go, I'm actually going to be giving that a 6 out of 10 because it's nothing really new, but there are some fun wonder weapons to use here at the same time. Now let's go over the aesthetics of this map and the overall just visual appeal, if you will. Is this map pleasing to look at? No. This map is absolutely, it's very boring in my opinion. It's just a mansion. It's just a house. There's nothing cool to look at here. This map is the Tomb has a better atmosphere than this map. Let's be real. Come on, let's be real, guys. Let's not lie to ourselves here. This map is nothing cool to look at. Same thing with the Reckoning. That map is also visually super boring. So that's my opinion on that. I'm going to give that a 3 out of 10. It's very boring, nothing good to look at, just very dull, just not my favorite. So let's jump into the final verdict for what I give this map. Go ahead and throw your guesses in the comments. Am I going to be mean? Am I going to be nice? I give this map a 4 out of 10 total. This map is not it. This map is not good. In my opinion, this is actually one of the worst zombies maps of all time, in my opinion. So the community consensus is that this map is actually pretty good, and I don't understand it. I really don't. This map comes across as boring. It comes across as lazy. There is nothing redeeming here for me, besides maybe a lot of the Easter egg steps are pretty cool, but there's nothing to it. There's really not anything to this map that makes me actually want to play this over, Citadel or Terminus. This is a map that I will never go back to unless I need to record gameplay for it. As funny as that sounds, I will never play this map again outside of that. I do not enjoy it. It is not fun. I would rather play the Tomb. I would rather play Reckoning. I would rather play any map in this game besides the Shattered Veil. I think this is an abysmal map. I think Treyarch completely dropped the ball here. So I know the consensus is this is like maybe the second or third best map in the game, depending on who you ask. And some people even have it won, but I do not agree. I think this map is terrible. So that was a rant, but let me guys know what you think, okay? Am I crazy? Is this map actually okay? Am I the weird one here? Maybe. I probably am, but we can talk about it. But anyways, guys, like I said, not a huge fan of this map. Doesn't do it for me, but let me guys know what you think. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you do enjoy Zombies discussion content, again, we are going to be dropping content almost every single day until Black Ops 7 comes out, and then we're going to be going even harder once that game does come out. Go ahead and drop a like, go ahead and drop a subscribe so you don't miss any of my new content, and I will check you guys on the next one. Peace.